All right, team, let's go through where we're going on the next cycle. So we had some pretty good results come in from the first cycle of Jackrabbit for the season. So we're going to head into cycle 2. The movements are going to change and the format is pretty much the same. So if you guys got used to the last 4 weeks, you'll kind of know how the flow goes. So a couple things to start off with today. One, lifting is going to be on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday is going to be a little bit longer run only. We're still in our base phase, so we're just kind of building up, doing a bunch of easy runs. I will start to sprinkle in just a very, very small amount of speed work, and it won't even be that fast. It'll be very low volume. I'll start to sprinkle that in over the next 2 to 3 weeks, seeing how everybody feels, okay? So I just want to give you guys an overview of what's going on. So we are in kind of a powerlifting cycle, which is what I like to do in the off season, as far away from racing as possible, because it does tend to work your slow twitch muscle fibers a little bit more. So that's really great, but we need to build a lot of power before we go into race season. So this is the best time to do it. So we'll do some powerlifting with a little bit of hypertrophy. Then we'll go into more of a hypertrophy only block. So try to get really, really jacked. And then we'll go into our power phase to peak right before the race season. So we already did 4 weeks. That was the last 4 weeks that we just finished. This next one is there's still 3 more 4-week cycles. So we still have 12 weeks to go. So stay the course, guys. You will be a lot stronger and more durable by the end. The way I'm going to set it up in Sugar WOD, week 1, because the 4-week block, everything looks very, very similar. So I'm going to post all the demo videos on week 1. So each day you'll have a demo video, then the movement and rep scheme. And we'll do that all the way down for all 4 days, okay? Weeks 2, 3, and 4, I won't post the workout videos anymore. So if you need them, just go back to the first week and check them out. But if you guys are following the program, you should have perfected the lift on the first week, okay? I put some pretty extensive videos in here. Most of them are pretty short, just so you guys can see what the movements are supposed to look like. But a couple of them have a little bit more talking. I highly recommend you guys listen to them all the way through, because if I chose them, they were probably the appropriate one that I thought where everybody was. So make sure to keep up with that. Moving on, Mondays are going to be primarily pressing day. So we have bench press followed by landmine press. Then we have some upper trap work and some back work to do. Okay, so we're trying to get our pushing and pulling really strong. And then we have a new shoulder complex that I filmed a video for today that you guys will see on there. That complex is going to be hard. So if you need to use like a ladies bar or something a little bit lighter, that's fine. If you find yourself getting stuck, what you can do is you can substitute 2 light plates, and you can do the front raise, then you can do the upright row, turn it into a W for the behind the neck, press, and then bring it to the front and press again. So you can still mimic that movement, but if a barbell is too heavy for you, definitely don't tear your shoulders up. Just use 2 light plates or 2 light dumbbells instead. We're going to continue with the 100 banded tricep press downs. I love this movement for a good tricep pump. And basically what we're looking for is each week you're trying to do those 100 reps in as few sets as possible. So if right now you're doing sets of like 25, the next time you do it, try to shoot for 30 reps each round, okay? Moving on to day 2, we have our back squat day. We're going into a 5x8 cycle this week, just so you guys know, and that will build. I gave you guys some rep ranges this week because I really want you using that double progression method we learned about last year. Double progression, if you guys remember, if I give you for Tuesday, for example, it's barbell hip thrust, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Once you can complete all 3 sets at 12 reps, you need to go up in weight. You can't stay at that weight any longer. You need to go ahead and get stronger, okay? The biggest crazy movement we have in here is one of my favorites. It is the Nordic Curl. I posted a demo video in there. The video I posted was with a band. I highly, highly recommend starting off with that. A lot of people's hamstrings aren't quite strong enough yet to take the demand of lowering your entire body weight to the ground. So a couple of options. If you have a dumbbell rack, that's a great spot to put your feet up under. Or if you have a partner in the gym with you each day, have them hold your ankles down really, really tight and even kind of kneel over it. So you can then use the band from your pull-up rig all the way down. You'll see it in the video. But just find a great way to anchor your feet, get creative. And if you need to, put a barbell in the rack and tie it down with bands so it can't come off the rack. The overhead kettlebell and dumbbell carries, self-explanatory. Double dumbbell or kettlebell overhead, and you're looking for 100 feet. So if you guys can kind of measure that off, that would be perfect. If you're inside your gym, I would probably say down and back twice. If you're in your garage gym, is usually going to do the trick. Just make sure you're keeping the elbows completely locked out. And we always want to think about the bicep next to the ear, okay? Barbell rows are standard barbell rows. They're going to be double overhand grip, and you're going to go just below the kneecap and row to the belly button, okay? You're going to see those twice a week. Running on Wednesdays, 45 minutes. Then on Thursdays, we have shoulder presses, floor press. I want you guys to watch the video and execute it exactly like the video. I want you guys legs straight, back flat in the ground. We're going to really build up our bench press with this movement. A lot of people say they don't feel it a lot. It's because what you're training is the lockout position is where we mostly get stuck. So make sure you're going heavy enough to get in that rep range. Same rules apply. It says 3 sets of 12 to 15. If you can hit 15 reps, you need to go heavier, okay, for all 3 sets. So you need to up the weight the next week. Further on, barbell rows, this is when you're going to see them again. So you got 1 day of rest and you're doing barbell rows again, but you're doing it at the floor press weight, and you're going to do 3 sets of max reps. The tricep rolls, make sure you watch the video twice for these. People tend to do these wrong a lot. Start really light with these, and then when you finally get comfortable with them, once you get to 3 sets of 15, increase the dumbbell weight by 5 pounds. Incline curls, self-explanatory. Just make sure you set up a bench on a nice incline, and you want to basically have your arms hanging behind you when you're on the incline bench to do your curls. Captain Morgan side planks, you're going to go for 2 sets of max reps. If you guys watch the video, you're lifting both knees. So as the top leg comes up, hold for a second, put it back down. Then the bottom leg comes up, hold, and put it back down, exactly like the video. Then we finish off Friday with an easy run, and then we're working on our deadlifts. If you guys are having low back issues from doing deadlifts, please watch the video from the CrossFit one that I posted, but do a little research online, guys. Neutral spine means there's no movement of the spine whatsoever. A lot of you guys like to poke your chest out, and that creates this big arch in your lower back. I want you guys to think about pulling your ribs in and squeezing your butt at the same time, and everything should hinge together, okay? So you want to brace it like you're going to get punched in the stomach, and you want to hinge at the hip only. So you're pushing your butt back as far as you can. That should take the stress off the lower back. Same thing in the back squats. You guys that have back squat issues, what you're doing is you're poking your chest out and you're creating an arch in your lower back, and that's putting almost all the load on your spinal erectors, which are right above your tailbone, okay? And that's where you're feeling that back tweak. You need to think about pulling those ribs in, squeezing your butt, and everything moves together as one unit. So stay neutral spine, not extreme flexion, okay? Last but not least, on Friday, we will have some banded good mornings for 100 reps, and then we get the real test, guys. We're adding pull-ups back into the mix finally. I was trying to give you guys a little bit of break from that. We're going to go 3 sets of max unbroken reps. Yes, you can use a band if you need to, if you have 0 strict pull-ups, but I would prefer that you guys use like a toe variation, or if you can jump off a box and then slowly lower yourself 3 times. I have that in the notes, okay? Hanging leg lifts with the medicine ball is going to be a very, very taxing one. You might only be able to get a couple of reps, but give it a try. If you can't pick the ball up at least to your hip level, then drop the weight and let's just focus on hanging leg raises, okay? Next week, or this week, will be our first week of the optional long run on Saturdays. It's only 30 to 60 minutes. And what I would do is tell yourself you're going out for a 1-mile run the first mile, and if you feel like garbage, go home. Okay, but if you feel good, keep going and try to hit somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes. Thing I want you guys to notice, on Saturday, I gave you guys the Spartan age group pace chart. So for those of us who are racing age group this year, these are the projected goal times I want you to hit. So let's talk real quick about those. Easy pace is anything in a warm-up, a cool down, or an easy run. That's going to be between a 9 and a 9:54 per mile pace. Marathon, when I specifically say at marathon pace, that's going to be a 7:59. This is not a marathon pace we've ever run before, but it's our projected, if we were aerobically fit enough and we train the marathon all year round, this is what we should be able to run a marathon at. It takes people 10, 20 years to get that level. So don't feel like you have to run a marathon at that pace. It's just a reference, okay? Threshold is tempo. Same thing. Those words are interchangeable. So when you see tempo runs or tempo pace, we're going to be at a 7:29. And this goes for the competitive athletes only. I'm basing these numbers off of actual races we did last year. Intervals. Anything in the 3 to 5 minute duration is going to be at a 6:53 pace. So we're getting pretty aggressive this year. And you guys know I love to program 5 minute and 3 minute repeats. Okay, so that's at 6:53. And finally, you have repetition. It's going to be at a 6:29 pace. This is the fastest you will pretty much run until we get some new race times. This is for very short intervals, like 200 to 400 meters. So you don't actually have to be able to run a 6:29 mile. You just need to be able to run a 6:29 pace for those short intervals. Okay. So hopefully this gives you guys a great overview. Sorry the video is so long, but I want to make sure everybody's on the same page moving forward. This is a big year for us, especially with a couple people going age group this year. So if you guys have any questions, as always, email me at fasterstrongerproject@gmail.com or just shoot me a text. And I look forward to seeing all you guys crushing it on the leaderboard. Talk to you soon, guys.